pigs.
If you're looking for me, you better check under the sea, 'cause that is where you'll find me, underneath the sea.
Welcome to Water Damage with your host, Gil Mancha. This is my chronological discussion of the King of the Seven Seas, Aquaman. Disclaimer, I will be actively getting and collecting issues as we go, and I'm going to try to only cover issues that I have a physical copy of or are in some collected edition. I'm going to try to stray away from digital because I love physical media, but the DC Universe Infinite app would be a great way to keep up with the podcast. Be sure to hit the follow button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or preferred platform to get episodes as soon as they drop. While you're there, please leave a review so the show can be recommended to other comic book fans. Follow the X account at Water Damage Pod to see when I go live we can chat and play games. The Silver Age was fun, and we may go back in the future, but for now, let's fast forward to this decade with Aquaman Volume 9, but we'll start that with the last issue of Volume 8, which is part of the Endless Winter event. Now, the reason we're doing this event and not say Absolute Power is because the last issue of the Volume 8 is not included in any Aquaman-centric collected editions, and it's referenced in the first issue of Volume 9, so since I don't want to start the new season confusing people, this seems like a good starting point, and it's very digestible. In today's episode, we're starting with Justice League Endless Winter number 1, Endless Winter Chapter 1. Links will be in the podcast notes. This issue was published on December 1st, 2020. Let's take a look back at what else was happening that day in history.
Do it again!
The top of the music charts on this day in the US was Mood by 24K Golden, and in the UK was Positions by Ariana Grande. The top of the box office was The Croods: A New Age. Popular TV shows include Barry, Ted Lasso, SpongeBob SquarePants, and the Casagrandes. Children were playing with toys such as the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Mood by 24K Golden is a pop rock, hip hop, rap rock song released in 2020 featuring Ian Dior. The song came about while the artists were playing Call of Duty together and producers Omer Fady and KBZ were working on a beat, and 24K Golden idly sang what would become the song's hook. Mood peaked atop the Billboard Hot 100, where it spent 8 non-consecutive weeks and also topped the charts in the United Kingdom, Australia, Ireland, Austria, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, and Sweden. A remix of the song with Canadian singer Justin Bieber and Colombian singer J Balvin was released on November 6, 2020. Positions by Ariana Grande is a pop R&B song released in 2020 as the lead single from the album of the same name. Positions is a mid-tempo song blending pop and R&B over trap beats, plucked guitar, and violin. Its lyrics see Grande extend romantic overtures to her love interest. Positions debuted atop the US Billboard Hot 100, becoming Grande's 5th US number 1 single and her 3rd consecutive number 1 debut of 2020 following Stuck With You and Rain On Me. It extended her records as the first artist to have 5 number 1 debut singles on the chart and for having all the lead singles of each of her albums debut within the top 10 of the charts. It also debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Global 200 and Billboard Global, excluding US, making Positions the first song to simultaneously debut atop both charts and the Hot 100. Elsewhere, the song reached atop the record charts in 16 other territories including Australia, Bulgaria, Canada, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Israel, Lithuania, Malaysia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, giving Grande her 7th number 1 in the UK. Mood is chill with singable lyrics that are right up my alley. At 2 minutes 20 seconds, it's a little short. Positions, I had a double take in the beginning when I heard what sounds like crickets. It's the longer of the two songs, but there's a lot of repetition doing the legwork there. It's a good song and I can see why it did so well on the charts, but my personal pick is Mood. What's yours? The Croods: A New Age aka The Croods 2 is a 2020 American animated adventure comedy film produced by DreamWorks Animation. The prehistoric family The Croods are challenged by a rival family, the Bettermans, who claim to be better and more evolved. This sequel was first announced in April 2013, same year as the first movie, but was cancelled in November 2016 due to doubts in response to NBC Universal's August 2016 acquisition of DreamWorks Animation and revived in September 2017. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States, most of the animating process was done from the crew's homes. It grossed $215 million against its $65 million budget and received generally positive reviews from critics. The Croods: A New Age is available to stream on Peacock and Prime Video via add-on and available to buy on YouTube, Google TV, Apple TV, and Fandango at home. Barry is a 2018 American tragicomedy crime television series created by Alec Berg and Bill Hader for HBO that ran for 4 seasons. Disillusioned at the thought of taking down another mark, depressed, low-level hitman Barry Berkman seeks a way out. When the Midwesterner reluctantly travels to Los Angeles to execute a hit on an actor who is betting a mobster's wife, little does Barry know that the City of Angels may be his sanctuary. He follows his target into acting class and ends up instantly drawn to the community of eager hopefuls, especially dedicated student Sally, who becomes the object of his affection. While Barry wants to start a new life as an actor, his handler, Fuches, has other ideas, and the hitman's criminal past won't let him walk away so easily. Throughout its run, it's won almost 36 awards, including 4 Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, Bill Hader, Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, Henry Winkler, Primetime Creative Arts, Emmy Awards, Outstanding Sound Mixing for a Comedy or Drama Series, Half Hour, and Animation, Todd Beckett, Elmo Ponsdominic, and Benjamin Patrick, and American Film Institute Awards, Top 10 TV Programs of the Year, Barry. Barry is available to stream on HBO, Max, Hulu, YouTube with subscription, Sling TV, YouTube TV, and available to buy on Apple TV and Fandango at home. Ted Lasso is a 2020 American sports comedy drama television series that ran for 3 seasons, developed by Jason Sudeikis, Bill Lawrence, Brendan Hunt, and Joe Kelly. It is based on a character Sudeikis portrayed in a series of promotional media for NBC Sports coverage of England's Soccer Premier League. The show follows Ted Lasso, an American college football coach who is hired to coach an English soccer team whose owner secretly hopes his inexperience will lead it to failure. Instead, Lasso's folksy, optimistic leadership proves unexpectedly successful. All 3 seasons won multiple awards, with particular praise for its performances. If this puts it into scale, the list of awards and nominations received by Ted Lasso has its own Wikipedia page. It won 39 out of 138 nominations. Ted Lasso is available to stream on Apple TV and Prime Video with add-on. SpongeBob SquarePants, or just SpongeBob, is a 1999 American animated comedy television series that's currently on for 16 seasons, created by marine science educator and animator Steven Hillenburg for Nickelodeon. It first aired as a sneak peek after the Kids' Choice Awards on May 1st, 1999, and officially premiered on July 17, 1999. It chronicles the adventures of the character SpongeBob SquarePants and his aquatic friends in the underwater city of Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob is the 4th longest-running American animated series in history and the longest-running American children's animated series as of 2025. Its popularity has made it a multimedia franchise and Nickelodeon's most profitable program, generating over $16 billion in merchandising revenue by 2024. The franchise now includes 4 theatrical feature films, 2 streaming feature films, a Broadway musical, a comic book series, numerous video games, and 2 spin-off series: Camp Coral, SpongeBob's Under Years, and The Patrick Star Show. There's no possible way to properly express how influential SpongeBob has been on Nickelodeon and generations of children. The show's success became a barometer for Nick, and as a result, many shows didn't get the chance they may have deserved, and SpongeBob reruns dominated the channel for a long time. SpongeBob is available to stream on Paramount Plus, Philo, and on Hulu, Fubo TV, and YouTube TV via add-ons, and available to buy on Fandango at home, Prime Video, and Apple TV. The Casagrandes is a 2019 American animated sitcom that ran for 3 seasons, developed by Michael Rubiner and Miguel Puga, that aired on Nickelodeon from October 14th, 2019 to September 30th, 2022. It is a spin-off of The Loud House and the second television series in the overall franchise, which follows the adventures of Ronnie Ann, her brother Bobby Santiago, and their family living in the fictional Great Lakes City. An animated feature film which serves as a continuation and series finale to the show was released on Netflix on March 22, 2024. The show won 3 awards throughout its run, including a Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Main Title for an Animated Program, Imagen Award for Best Youth Programming, and the 9th Annual Screen Nova Scotia Award for Best Animated Series. The Casagrandes is available to stream on Paramount Plus, and on YouTube and Prime Video with subscriptions and available to buy on Fandango at home. The Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S are the fourth generation of consoles in Microsoft's Xbox Series released on November 10th, 2010, succeeding the previous generation's Xbox One. Launch Series X has 1 terabyte of storage and a disk drive, while the launch Series S is digital only and has 500 gigabytes of storage. Both the PS5 and Series consoles are part of the 9th generation of home video game consoles. The other category is micro video game consoles, which only includes the Atari VCS in this generation. According to Wikipedia, Switch 2 isn't a part of this despite being released during this time frame. I suspect because it's a hybrid handheld home console and the others are purely home consoles. If you're familiar with either songs or the top movie, let me know. On the Spotify app on phone and PC, there's now a comment section. You can do it there or on social media. That's a taste of what the world was like when Justice League Endless Winter #1 was released.
That was outrageous!
I'm reading this thanks to Justice League Endless Winter, a hardcover book that has all 9 issues of the event. This issue was written by Andy Lanning and Ron Mars, penciled and inked by Howard Porter and Marco Santucci, colored by Hi-Fi Design and Arif Prianto, lettered by Troy P. Terry and World Design, and edited by Alex R. Carr and Andrea Shea. The cover has Wonder Woman from the chest up, holding her sword in front of her, with just under half of her being off the page. Behind her are Batman, Superman flying towards the reader, Flash and Aquaman behind those two, and a flying Jon Stewart in the far back with an icy white background. Cover variant #1 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer shows the Frost King uppercutting Superman, blood splattering, with his left hand while holding Batman by the throat with his right, with a shocked Wonder Woman behind the Frost King holding her sword with both hands. The description for this issue on the DC Universe Infinite app says, Endless Winter Chapter 1. The crossover event of the season begins here. The Justice League encounters an extinction-level global storm brewing at the former site of the Fortress of Solitude. Enter the Frost King, a monster mad with power with an army at his command. What devastating mystery lies in his past? And how is he tied to Queen Hippolyta, Swamp Thing, Viking Prince, and their reluctant ally, Black Adam? 2 timelines will reveal further clues and secrets throughout each chapter of this blockbuster tale. The standard cover for this issue is used as the cover art for the collected edition of this event. After the break, we'll summarize the issue.
Is Aquaman finished? Can you make it to the bathroom before we return with part 2 of the show?
What it do, guys? Manjame here, and if you like board games, especially deck building games, you should check out @Team_Thunder on YouTube. There we have unboxings and games of Legendary, a Marvel deck building game, the DC deck building game, the Transformers deck building game, and many more. That's also where you can find VODs for this and Accelerated Visions, a Spider-Man 2099 podcast where you can directly leave a comment and we can discuss the issues.
The Superman Aquaman Hour of Adventure, featuring Aquaman, King of the Seven Seas, and your favorite comic book superheroes in their own adventure stories. It's 60 minutes of thrills and fun, next on most of these stations.
Arctic Circle, Greenland, Jokaborg region, the Citadel Glacier. In a snowy area in the distance is a machine shooting a red laser beam as a bolt of lightning strikes the ground. The Snowcrawler, Stag Industries Mobile Arctic Research Facility. 3 million pounds of portable geoscience lab and drilling rig. Crew, 15, supported by automated Stagatron drones. The Snowcrawler is shooting the laser into a crater with long crystals sticking out of the ground. Exact location, unknown. Officially listed as missing. There's a red glowing crystal sticking out of the ground. A voice from off-screen says, Superman's fabled Fortress of Solitude, or at least all that remains of it. A gloved hand picks the crystal out of the ground. What other Kryptonian treasures might the Man of Steel have left behind? Nearing sunset, we see several drinks on a table in a more tropical area. A voice from off-panel asks, Cameron, if you don't mind? An ice hand sticks a couple fingers in one of the drinks, making ice cubes and crystals appear. Of course, what's a Mai Tai without enough ice? 2 men are lounging in chairs, and 1 woman in glasses stands, holding up their drinks. Additionally, Cameron is a man made of ice in khaki shorts and sandals. He holds up his iced drink and makes a toast. Gentleman and lady, I give you sun, sea, and some well-deserved serenity. A blonde man says, If I do say so, this was the best idea I've had in a long time. Matali Island, the Arabian Sea. The group is on the rooftop of a large building. The blonde man continues, find an out-of-the-way island nobody cares about and take over the joint. We should have done this years ago. From the ground below, a dozen armored police approach the building. A policeman with a megaphone says, "Attention in the penthouse. The Special Crimes Task Force has you surrounded. Foreign supervillains will not be tolerated on our soil. You will surrender immediately." Back on the rooftop, the blonde man says, "Oh, come on, I can't even finish my drink." Cameron says, "This is straight up harassment. We weren't bothering anybody. I mean, after we took over the government." A man wearing blue says, "The cops are outnumbered. They just don't know it yet." The woman walks toward the ledge. "Better be quick about it, Multiplex." From below, the Special Crimes Task Force is reading a battering ram to force their way into the building. She continues, "I don't think they're going to knock." A moment later, Multiplex is suited back up and has nearly 50 clones jumping off the building and coming out of various exits to attack the task force. He says, "This could have been nice arrangement, but now you're making us be bad guys again." From back on the rooftop, the rest are ready for action. The blonde man says, "I was really kinda hoping I could put away the Catman suit for a while, but oh well." Cameron now has ice spikes on his shoulders and ice is forming around him. At least you have the option. I'm icicle all the time. Is Multiplex handling them, Rampage? Rampage is now much taller with more muscle, orange skin, and a maroon mohawk. So far, he's going through them like... She looks over the ledge. Wait, something's happening. From the ground level, a green and red streak passes by half a dozen Multiplex clones. Ow. F. Oof. Gah. Green Lantern asks, "Say again, Flash. Couldn't hear you over all the squealing." What I said was, this time of year gets me thinking. Green Lantern uses a bulldozer construct while Flash runs past the Multiplex clones. The Flash continues, "About family, about work-life balance, all that stuff. I get it, and I realize we're just here for 4 B-listers, but is right now really the best time for this chat?" From above, Rampage looks back to her allies. "Are you kidding me? We've got Flash and Green Lantern sticking their noses into our business?" From off-screen, a voice says, "Sorry to break it to you, Rampage." It's Superman and Wonder Woman coming toward them from the air. Superman continues, "But it's not just Flash and Green Lantern," Wonder Woman adds. "You picked the wrong island." Flash places a couple fingers on his built-in headset in his costume. "Diana, you picking me up? If you've got a minute, I wanted to ask how you're balancing things, work and family." Wonder Woman punches Rampage through the side of the building. "Scratch, Fef," she answers. "Balancing. I was the god of war for a while, so I don't think I'm the one you should be talking to about this." In the background, Superman is using his heat vision on the ground as Catman and Icicle jump around to dodge. Icicle tries shooting pieces of ice at Superman, but his heat vision stops it. Ice? Really? Rampage lands on the ground and wipes a massive amount of blood from her mouth. "Lady, we were just looking to be left alone, but if you want to fight." Wonder Woman flies in her direction. Rampage throws a green car at her. "Let's get to it." Wonder Woman stops in place. The car crashes into her, Kirsch breaking apart as it makes contact. Rampage says, "Believe me, plenty more where that 2 tentacles come out of the water to grab an arm and both legs came from." The Kraken hangs her upside down from a tentacle. Aquaman stands on it. "Sorry I'm a little late. Family stuff." Over comm, Flash says, "Hey Arthur, since you just brought it up, I heard what you were asking everybody, Flash. I'm here with you guys when I should be planning my honeymoon. Which I suppose tells you all you need to know about how I'm balancing married life. Diana, do you want to finish up?" She flies up and punches Rampage yards away. Thoom! Gladly. Catman is swinging away, asking, "Could I catch a break sometime? Just one? Almost the entire Justice League for us?" He lands in an alley. It's every cat for himself at this point. A voice calls out, that makes him look back. "You should have surrendered to Superman when you had the chance. He's the good cop." "It's Batman. I'm the other one." Flash comes in. "Batman, I've been thinking about how to do a better job of balancing. You know what? Never mind, I'm good. Joklaborg region, the Citadel Glacier." A voice from off-screen says, "With the glacier receding due to the global temperature increase, a myriad new mineral opportunities are available to us, including a unique ice strain found only here." A person in an orange snow jacket says, "My research indicates this ice holds the key to cold fusion, offering us an unprecedented opportunity. Once we succeed, Stag Industries will dominate the clean energy market." A large robot with a street on his chest walks up to the man who'd taken the red glowing crystal out of the ground. On the screen is a boardroom of people with a woman standing in the foreground. He has a red marking over left eye and says while looking at the screen, "And you, dear sister, and the rest of the board will reap those rewards, all thanks to me." His sister says, Sebastian, stop trying to sell this as a company venture. This is about you, like always. You had no permission to access the snow crawler or any stag resources. Sebastian says, I remind you, Sapphire, that until the courts rule otherwise, Father left the business to me, and I can keep the case tangled in the legal system for years. And frankly, I have the best lawyers money can buy. They got me out of prison, and they got me access to company assets, despite your best efforts to lock me out. Now please stop bothering me so I can get on with changing the destiny of mankind. The man in the orange jacket says, Mr. Stagg, we've got an ice seam you should definitely see. The video call ends and Sebastian turns toward the ice seam. Cold fusion. My sister's so gullible. Who'd have thought Superman would just pick up his clubhouse and move it? Let's see what you found. The snowcrawler is blasting a red laser at green crystals. He holds the red crystal, alien crystal technology left behind in a crystalline environment, just waiting for the right genius to exploit it. When I unlock the Kryptonian secrets fused into the ice, Stag Industries will be begging me for them, and so will the rest of the world. The snowcrawler's intercom goes off. Mr. Stagg, this is the crawler command deck. Weather radar is indicating a sizable event headed right toward us. Impact within the hour. Sebastian turns back to the man in orange. Then what are you standing around for? Get the extractors working and cut out as much of the seam as we can get. A man in a red jacket is pressing buttons on a touch screen from within the snowcrawler. No advisable, sir. Between the storm and the tremors we've been having, this area is not stable enough for that kind of extraction. From the video call, Sebastian says, I wasn't asking for opinions. I want that ice extracted now. Matali Island, the Arabian Sea. Catman says, seriously, don't you people have anything better to do? Later, a task force officer leads a cuffed Catman into the back of a marked van. Watch your head, ears, whatever. To the side, the Justice League talks among themselves. A floating Green Lantern says, local authorities are going to process them and then they'll be extradited back to the States. Aquaman looks up at him. Unless there's anything else, I have a wife and baby I need to get back to. Wonder Woman says, Batman, would you care for a ride back to Gotham? It is not far out of my way. The Flash speaks to Superman. Mind some company on the way home? Floating with his arms crossed, Superman says, of course not, Flash, as long as you can keep up. Oh, it's like that, is it? From the inside of the van, Catman says, even in the middle of nowhere, the Justice League is on our backs. Rampage says, I might know a place. I've heard some things about Kahdak. Multiplex asks, really? You can tell my friend here just as soon as he lets us out. Outside the van looking in is a clone of Multiplex, the Atlantic Ocean. The Flash is running on the water along a flying Superman. Flash says, how do you do it? How do you balance all this with having a family? How do you pull it off so well, Clark? To be honest, I don't think I'm doing it well at all. Stunned, Flash asks, wait, what? Do I need to point out that you're Superman? I thought revealing my identity to the world would simplify things, but I feel like everything has only gotten more complicated. Jor-El, John being so far away. And I always worry for Lois. She's the strongest, smartest person I know. But I realize how hard all this is for her. Sometimes I just feel powerless. We're all just doing the best we can. Maybe have a chat with somebody who's got a better handle on it than me. He looks to his left. Mudslide in Sri Lanka. I'll go take care of it. He streaks off with a hard left turn. Good talk, Barry. Let's do it again soon. Superman's blue and red streak turns into just red as he zips away. Flash stops in his tracks at the abrupt end to the conversation. Thanks. I guess? Yoklaborg region, the Citadel Glacier. A man holding a flare says, you're secure. Haul away. Other men wrap a green box in a cable that's then carried away by a specialized craft. From inside the craft, the green box is brought in. Crossing his arms, Sebastian says, impressive. A block that size extracted in less than 3 hours. His craft then flies off. The storm's not even that bad yet. From the ground below, one of the workers uses the comm to ask Mr. Stagg, requesting permission to withdraw the snowcrawler before the storm and seismic disruptions cause a collapse on the glacier. He replies, negative. Batten down the hatches and ride it out. You're to resume extraction as soon as the storm passes. Stagg out. An earthquake occurs, causing the crawler to fall into the crater. Metropolis. There's a Christmas tree and a voice says, I really appreciate you letting me visit, Jefferson. The voice is Flash, holding a mug, especially during family time. I didn't expect Black Lightning to go for the ugly sweater look. Wearing a Black Lightning-themed holiday sweater, Jefferson says, it's not supposed to be an ugly sweater, the girls got me this. Decorating the tree on her tippy toes, one of his daughters says, it's totally ugly, Dad. His other daughter, kneeling on the ground, looks through boxes of decorations. Where's the snowflake ornament? We gotta have that. It's tradition. Flash puts the mug to his mouth. How do you get this so right, Jefferson? You and the girls and the job? Sifting through the box, he replies, "There's no magic formula, Barry. Like anything else, it just takes effort." He finds the snowflake ornament. There it is. He looks to one of his daughters holding the ornament. "You remember when we got this, Anissa? You were both so young. It was the last thing we got at the Christmas market downtown that year because your sister inhaled so much candy she was going to barf. She did barf in the back seat on the way home. We never told you." He hands her the ornament. She continues, "You were in such a rush to go, you forgot to pay for the ornament." He puts his hands on her shoulders and looks back to Flash. "I went back and paid the next day, Barry. Don't haul me in." He goes back to decorating the tree. "Look, I'm not doing anything special, Barry. Just trying to be the best dad I can be." His other daughter holds an electric plug and asks, "Okay to turn on the lights now?" "Of course, Jen." Flash walks to Jefferson. "Well, sure looks like you're doing a pretty good job. I'm not saying there aren't challenges. I'm a single parent and a superhero, and my girls have superpowers." Jen plugs in the lights. Nothing's happening. He looks at the lights. "Must be a short. My Grammy used to tell me it's not about how many things were broken." He holds out his other hand and sends a small bolt of lightning to it. Ziza, causing the lights to come to life. "It's how many things you fix." Everyone stands around the lit tree. Flash says, "That's beautiful." Jefferson puts his arms on his daughter's shoulders. "It's what I've got." Flash's comm goes off. "Justice League. This is Batman. Emergency situation in the Arctic." Flash says, "Sorry, much as I'd love to stay." Close up on the lit trees. "Sounds like something needs to be fixed." Joklaborg region, the Citadel Glacier. The crawler is on the edge, about to fall. RMMMBBLLLL. From inside, a worker calls out for help. "Mayday! Mayday!" Repeating. "Stag Industries Research Facility requesting immediate aid." From inside, a female worker says, "The glacier is collapsing under us, and the storm is hammering us from above." "Mayday, can anyone hear us?" A male worker says, "Is the signal even getting through? It's not like Stag gives a damn about us. He got what he wanted and..." They look at the display. It's red but hazy. The female worker says, I'm picking up movement outside." It's a total whiteout. There's nothing out there except the blizzard. A hole is blown into the crawler. Screak. Machinery starts falling through the new hole. Everyone stands up. Hull breach. A teal crystal can be seen outside the hole. The male worker comms through. "Something's got the drone. Mayday! Mayday!" The female worker says, "It's not just the blizzard. There are multiple teal crystal monsters around them, each with glowing blue eyes and mouths." One gets right up to the male worker, about to attack. A voice says, "Sorry guys, we came." The workers stay in place as the background changes from inside the crawler to red and blue with a red streak. As fast, then it's revealed they're now outside and safely having been moved by the Flash. As we could. Welcome to Ellesmere Island, by the way. He starts running away in a streak of red and electricity. "Stay frosty. No pun intended. I'll be back with the rest of your crew." Superman points. "Flash, did you clear out the crawler? We need to keep that rig from toppling into the crater." Flash zips to the scene. Everybody's evacuated. The Justice League is fighting dozens of the ice creatures. Green Lantern uses his ring to create platforms for Aquaman and Batman and asks, "What are these things? Are they even sentient?" The ice creatures are climbing onto the platforms. Batman has a fur-lined winter jacket and full mask, with red goggles on while everyone else has their standard hero suits. With Flash running in the background, Superman flies and punches through one of the creatures' heads. "No, I've scanned them at a molecular level. They're just animated ice." Flash has now made it to running in the background behind Wonder Woman, as she also punches through another creature's head, so no reason to hold back. Flash makes his way past the background of Aquaman as he brings his trident down, destroying another creature. Then the question becomes, who is animating them? Flash zips toward the crawler as a flying Green Lantern creates a castle wall construct to keep the creatures from reaching the crawler. And why are they attacking? Among the human-sized ice creatures is one that's bigger than the crawler that brings down a giant fist on the side of it. Batman sticks a device with several legs and a glowing red center, Breep, to the head of the giant ice creature. He looks back to the device as he says, "You're a big one." A safe distance away, Batman turns his back to the creature as it explodes. "Whom?" he says. "The crawler's stable for the moment, but that won't last." Superman flies past him. "No worries, I'm on it." "You're welcome." The Flash punches some creatures, with ice crystals growing on him. So is anybody going to ask why Batman gets a cool new Arctic suit? I mean, I'd like a cool new Arctic suit. Superman lifts up the crawler. "Let's get you back where you belong and not at the bottom of a..." He looks down to see glowing green and a whirl of white. Crater. There's a blast of green and white at Superman and the crawler. Crack, coom. Superman has his arms up defensively, with ice having grown all over him. Where did that come from? Green Lantern flies up. "Looks like you weathered that a lot better than the crawler. What's down there?" Coming out of the crater is a huge cloud of green smoke with something beginning to emerge. I think we're about to find out, John. An icy hand claws its way out of the crater. It's covered in a green flame. Free. It reveals itself. Finally free. And the Frost King will have his vengeance. He's a bearded human-looking creature with horns and ice around his shoulders, glowing blue-white eyes, and what looks black domino mask styled face paint on his white face and skin. He has white flames coming off of him. The Justice League looks at him. Batman says, unexpected. Aquaman says, Frost King, he's not one of mine. Wonder Woman adds, nor mine. Who or what is he? Close up on the Frost King's face. Where are they? What have you done with them? I see you there. He sees the image of 3 warriors. In the front in magenta looks to be an Amazonian. Behind her to her right looks like Black Adam with a royal headgear, and to his left also behind the Amazonian is a warrior with a helmet. The Frost King continues. You Docklefar, you tricksters! The snowstorm picks up with snow nearly to the hero's knees. Flash rushes to Batman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman's side. It was those 3 the Frost King had seen the 3's vision over. Flash reaches a hand out. Whoa, who's the dude with the horns? Aquaman answers, the Frost King, pay attention. Fully out of the crate, the Frost King raises his arm, white flames coming off his body. Arise, my ice horde, and put them to the slaughter. More ice creatures rise from the snowy ground. As the newly formed ice creatures approach the Justice League, Flash says, sorry I asked. The horde surrounds the 4 heroes. Batman says, tight formation. Flash responds, seeing as we're completely surrounded, I don't think we have much choice. Green Lantern comes in, slicing multiple ice creatures with a construct of a giant sword. I can go medieval on these guys. He hovers over the other heroes, still holding the sword. But there's no end to them. Dozens more of the ice creatures run in their direction. Superman flies up using his heat vision to create a straight path, melting and severing multiple ice creatures. The storm just keeps spawning more. A giant ice spider appears and Batman avoids being skewered. I suspect the storm is the Frost King. Concentrate on him. Superman zips to the Frost King with a red light trail behind him. We don't know who you are or what you want, but this has to end. I know your kind. I know your treachery. He sends a gust of icy wind at Superman, tearing up his cape. You will bow down to me and you will tell me what you've done with them. Despite the wind and pressure, Superman walks through the air to get closer to the Frost King, who has a circle of white flame around him. You have me confused with somebody else. Superman reaches his hand past the flame circle as he tries to grab the Frost King. And I doubt you're going to like it when I introduce myself. Close up on the Frost King's eyes, there's now white flames coming out of them. This time I won't be stopped. This time. He sends out an explosive wave of white, icy wind, sending all but Batman flying. The world will pay. Batman is far enough away that he can turn his back to the explosive wave and brace himself. Superman is sent the farthest with a trail of red behind him. In the snowstorm, a green light appears. It becomes a green construct bubble that protects all of the Justice League except Superman. Green Lantern asks, everyone all right? Flash says, well, I'm not having any fun if that's what you mean. Where did Frosty the supervillain go? Wonder Woman answers, vanished, along with his minions. But at the moment, I'm more concerned with where Superman is. Close up on Superman's face, you can see breath leaving his mouth. It turns out he's just in front of the construct bubble. Batman asks, Clark? I had a sense this place seemed familiar. Green Lantern releases the construct and the group jumps to the nearby cliff overlooking the crater. Superman continues, but in the chaos of the storm and the battle, I didn't realize. The whole team looks into the crater. There's several red crystals sticking up from the ground. Superman says, this is where my Fortress of Solitude was located before it was destroyed by Rogol Zar. There is an asterisk after that sentence with a white text box at the bottom of the panel from Arctic Alex that says, see the Man of Steel number 4. Superman continues, I've scanned the crater. Residual Driptonian crystals have fused with the ice deep in the glacier. When I got close to the Frost King, I didn't understand why he was emitting a Kryptonian energy signature. Now I do. If he absorbed what I left behind, Gotham, it's nighttime, snowing, and the bat signal is lit across the night sky. Superman says, what have I unleashed onto the world? A television program can be heard. Channel 2, Gotham News reporting on the unprecedented winter storms that have descended upon not only our city, but across the globe. Manhattan. The Titans stand in shin-high snow. A radio broadcast can be heard. New York News Radio with breaking news on the catastrophic polar vortex that has blanketed the entire world in snow and ice. Washington, D.C. In front of the Hall of Justice stands members of the Justice League Dark Team, Dr. Fate, Detective Chimp and Zatanna also in shin-high snow. The broadcast continues. Residents advised to remain indoors with temperatures plugging 50 degrees below zero, bringing risk of frostbite and hypothermia. Metropolis Black Lightning stands on top of a building looking toward the Daily Planet. Shelter in place and stay tuned to WGBS-TV as we attempt to confirm reports of creatures lurking within the blizzard. Conduct. Black Adam looks off a building, seeing the snow over his land. After all this time, how can it be happening again? 10th century, Egypt. A voice says, "What you ask is dire, and I am loath to even consider it. It is the wizard, or Shazam." He continues, "But I already feel the coming frost. The fate of the world may well hinge upon his aid." 3 figures in silhouette stand before him. The wizard says, "I sealed away my champion for the good of the world. Now I free him for the good of the world. Once I utter the magic word to open his tomb, I will be gone, and he will be your dilemma to solve. I wish you luck." He holds a hand to a wall and says, the magic word, Shazam. Energy cracks and makes a hole in the wall as his hand begins to vanish. Looking in from the hole, electricity can be seen as the middle, helmeted figure asks, "Hello?" The 3 come to hole. Hippolyta puts her hands on her hips. "Teth, Adam, we have need of you. The world has need of you." Beside her is Viking Prince. "Without your help, there won't be a world." Behind both is a silent Swamp Thing. With electricity coming off his body, Black Adam raises a leg onto higher ground. Well, this world's got a great deal to answer for. That's where the comic ends. After the break, we'll go over some thoughts and feelings about the issue.
Wait a minute. That was no joke. Somebody tried to kill me. That or we're not paying Mr. Slippery enough. Holy Neptune's trident. This has to be the work of the Legion of Doom. Hey, there's an echo inside my head. Echo. Echo. Echo.
You okay, Aquaman?
Echo. Echo. What? Oh, no problem.
It's fun how easily the Justice League can beat the B-list supervillains. They don't even take it seriously. In fact, all of them showing up seem like overkill since 1 or 2 max could have busted them. I liked Multiplex in the beginning because his power reminded me of Naruto's multi-shadow clone jutsu, and when different clones hit his opponent to say, Uzumaki Barrage. If he wasn't a B-list villain, he might be able to pull off some cool combat. That said, using his clone power to escape the police vehicle is pretty rad. Despite this being our starting point, Wonder Woman mentioned she herself was God of War for a while, and Superman mentioned the Fortress of Solitude having been destroyed. Without going into them, because then we'd have to go further back, I'll just say I believe them. She's from a warrior people trained from childhood to be a great warrior. The wording tells you she's not anymore, so she either gave the title back to Ares, or she found a new god. Superman has plenty of enemies, so I'm surprised they actually accomplished something. I'm also interested to see where the Frost King story goes. The fact that it's sorta Superman's fault due to the Kryptonian crystals makes it more personal for Superman and likely means the Frost King is stronger than he was before. He was already a problem before, but now he's worse. Black Adam seems to be important here. This was before the Black Adam movie, so he doesn't look like The Rock, nor do I believe he's a good guy. Anti-hero at best, but more than likely he's out to serve his own intention or for the best of his people. In that respect, he's closer to Dr. Doom. What do you think? Did you read the comic? Did I get something wrong? If I do and you guys let me know, I'll include a correction section in the next episode and I'll credit the user. Let's continue the discussion on social media and the YouTube VOD. You can find me at WaterDamagePod on Twitter or X and at Team_Thunder on YouTube. If you're looking for another podcast to listen to and you want to learn more about the Spider-Man of the future, check out Accelerated Visions, a Spider-Man 2099 podcast on Spotify and anywhere you can find podcasts. Be sure to follow that and this podcast to get episodes as soon as they drop. Mandrame out.
Whew, man. Glad that stopped before things got worse.
What's the matter, Aquaman?
I don't know. The fish are trying to tell me something.